One of the common questions I always get asked is what NBN should we get? And it's made even more complicated by the fact that the NBN have been doing a lot of work and releasing some new plans out into the marketplace. They've got to the end of what they call the initial build, which is probably not quite 100% accurate. But once they've reached that point, they've looked back and saying, what are people actually using? And they're doing some new work to try and help people get more of those speed plans that they are looking for. Now, I've actually gone through, it's taken me nearly a day to collate the information. That's why I've got my tablet here, because there's just too much to remember all of the deals. But there are a lot of moving parts to figure out which plan is the one that you should be using. So I'll try and unravel all of those for you and make it as simple as we can. I've got the NBN screen, the NBN website up on the screen here, and we can just see there's some of the home plans in there. The home plans are actually available as well for businesses, so we can look at them and understand how they work in the home. Works in a very similar way in the business environment. They are a cheaper option than some of the higher powered business plans, and for most small businesses the top end of the domestic bands are quite adequate. Now at the domestic level there are 6 plans, that's right, 7 plans, but there is effectively 6 because one of them, which is called the basic plan, is really just there for people who want a telephone and maybe a little bit of email. So this is probably an older person that has never had the internet, but they still need to have their phone going. So that's called a 12-1, which means 12 upload, 12 download, 1 meg upload on there. So they're the key things to remember. 12, the first number is the speed going down, the second number is the speed going up, and also important to remember is they are the maximum speeds that you are able to get on there. So we have a 12-1, which is a basic plan. We have a 25-5, which is domestic, which is probably really the very entry level for a lot of people these days with light usage. Then we have a 50-20, which is what you would use if you were on doing a lot of TV downloads and that sort of thing. And you're doing gaming, there's 140, which means 100 down, 40 up. Now they've introduced some new super fast plans. There are 2 I want to bring to your attention. Home fast and home super fast, and then there's just the NBN 100, which is fast. They are all very similar. All of them deal with 100 download, which is the NBN maximum speed. In practice you would only get say 80 or 90 download, but where they differ is the upload rate. Now if you're talking in business, you actually want to steer clear of the home fast one, or possibly even the super fast, because the standard home one, which is 100 down, 40 up, gives you much more download on those. Those other ones are 20 and 25 up. And businesses, you need to have that outgoing speed to get everything done that you need to get done. What do you want to do for business? Well, the reason I went through all of those domestic ones is they are all available for business as well, but the 25 one is useless. When you're dealing in the business area with NBN, they have what they call traffic class 1, traffic class 2 and traffic class 4. I don't know what happened to traffic class 3, but it's gone. Traffic class 4 is very similar in many respects to the domestic ones that we were talking about earlier, except there are some other options you get at the top end. One of the key things to remember as well is that the type of technology that you have delivering NBN to your premises has an impact on the higher speed planes which are available to you. Traffic class 4 is very similar to the domestic classes, but they have some extra plans up at the top level. I'll just refer to them now to make sure I get them right. In the domestic level, the top end is 100 up, down, 40 up. With commercial ones you can go 250 down, 100 up, or 500 down, 200 up, or 1,000 down and 400 up. So you've got that higher level of capacity. you really want to start with the 50/20 if you've got a all normal size office, and consider going to the 100/40 if you have, say, more than 5 or 10 people, or you have high usage in there. But those above the 101 are dependent on the type of technology that you have coming into your place. And that's one of the reasons that NBN are upgrading all of these services which are in the older type technologies, so that we can deliver that out as well. Most small businesses are quite happy to go with the 140 plan. That's more than enough for them. But there are some businesses who might have a lot more employees, or they are dealing with information such as videos, or they're architects with drawings or something like that, that inherently have a higher upload rate, that may need to consider those plans. There's a third level though, and because all of those plans are what they call asymmetric. The downloads are different to the upload speeds. You can get some symmetrical ones where you get the same upload and download, and that's called Traffic Class 2. Now, Traffic Class 2 is one that doesn't have any speeds allocated to it, because it's the one where you negotiate with NBN through your provider, whoever that might happen to be. And in that one, you have what's called symmetrical plans, which means that your upload and download speeds are identical. So some businesses I work with, they do a 50/50. They would have staff, in this case I'm thinking of around about 20 or 30, and because it's 50 in and 50 out, it's more than adequate for the sort of things that they do. But that's one that you negotiate with the provider, and you also have guaranteed access to that 50. With the other classes, as we said, if it's 100 down, you might get 80, you might get 90. If there's a lot of traffic, you might even go down to 60 or 70. That's because you're sharing the line. Traffic Class 2, you have guaranteed access to all of the bandwidth that you purchase, and it's the same level of bandwidth going up and down, but you end up paying a lot more for it. And with them, they are by negotiation, and you can also get them in specific business areas, which NBN are now rolling out. The advantage with those business areas is that they will push those higher speeds out to you. Provided you take a 3-year contract, generally there are no upfront charges as there were previously to get these higher grade plans. But give us a call to try and sort out what it is that suits you. What is your need in your office? How many people do you have? What type of equipment do you have uploading and downloading? Well, when we go through all of those sorts of questions, we can get a better idea of which particular plan is most likely the best plan for your business. Okay, Daryl from Darbas, catch you around.